to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
It's not like a gag reflex thing to me,
but
she is notorious for like being on and like she's not speaking, and she has to be a smoker because then you hear, and you're like,
yeah, you all right?
Is there
a lung on your table now?
Birth something through your throat? What was that? And, you're like, slap its ass and put a diaper on it.
When's the afterbirth coming?
Yeah.
Hold on, I got the butter. I got to go cook that up.
And there's like another dude who's friends in Arizona, and every once in a while when she does it, it's like honestly, is she fucking dying?
Well, I never had really considered it until Nat said something about, do you have problems with your
butthole?
My throat. Like, I'm always like, like during the show, like I'm just like knocking stuff loose all the time. And I'm like, I never really thought about it.
Maybe you have polyps.
It's just normal for me, I guess.
Like clearing.
I have polyps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. What do I know?
Maybe it's a sign you should. Yeah, I don't know.
What's the sign?
You have throat polyps.
Oh, well, I mean, people have them.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Eventually you're just going to show up to the show and be like, it must be laryngitis.
Or it's like, it's something like that.
Hey, welcome to Sad Dads Club Podcast. I'm Jim.
No, you just got the raspy voice.
That's what I meant. If only 4 years ago I would have listened to that, I would have gotten my throat cancer checked.
That's terrible.
I know. Fuck cancer.
Totally.
But maybe you should get that checked out.
It'd be like everything else when I go to the doctor, like, I don't know.
Hey.
What? Thanks for the $40.
Okay. How do you feel about
here?
Good job. This is going to the Mercedes payment. What is? I don't.
You're $40.
You're copay.
Thanks.
Anything? Nah, you look fine to me. Yeah. Fuck, I haven't been in school in like 20 years.
I have enough to send my kid to Yale.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm just writing checks now. I don't
actually do anything. Yeah.
Did my assistant have any concerns? No. Yeah. Well, then neither do I.
I mean, that's how it works for me. I go to the doctor. I'm like, I don't know. I got this, and they're just like, blank stare. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So what? You don't give a fuck about that?
Yeah, nothing? Like, nah.
This is the reason why I hate going to the doctor, which is similar to taking my car to the shop. This is the reason I don't like it. Anyway.
Because they never solve anything?
Yeah, they never solve shit. I have an idea. I'm just going to get, modern society has fucked me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to get a horse and buggy. Because the horse gets sick, I just shoot it and get another one. You know what I mean? I don't have to take it to the horse doctor or take it to a mechanic or nothing. I just go shoot it and, I don't know, donate the meat to somebody who's hungry and or something and just buy a new horse.
You just call Shan and be like, not coming home tonight.
Yeah.
She's like, what'd the doctor say? Like, that I have to stay.
I'm just imagining my commute.
Yeah. What's wrong, though? We don't know. But I'm staying here.
I'll be here for 3 months.
Yeah, I'm staying. Doc says, can't go yet. Because he's looking for... He doesn't know.
I don't know. I'm just waiting for the tires to rot off.
He's got another son coming. So...
I mean, I figure if I have a horse and buggy, my commutes will be interesting. I could call my wife and be in the background. She could just hear.
Yeah.
You know, and cars are
Are
honking.
you
as they
out
buzz by.
ingressing? Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah,
It's gonna
it
take
took
me
10 minutes to go, 150 feet off the road.
Yeah. But I could get anywhere
Yeah,
except those damn gated communities.
that's right. But that's my life, so yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Because fuck me.
I got pulled over because I shit on another. Well, I didn't, but the horse shit on another sidewalk.
Maybe that's why I keep finding horse-sized shits on my walk when I take Max for a walk. I mean, they're not really horse-sized, but someone's got a really big fucking dog they don't clean up after.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm going to make a new series on Nextdoor. I told my wife.
Recognize this shit?
I'm seriously going to start taking pictures of the shits around the neighborhood
Just say who?
and like post it. Here's one that's got left behind
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Fallen soldier.
Yeah, a little write-up. And then I'm going to start posting them on Nextdoor.
I send these.
Highland Reserve lost shits.
Yeah.
If it's yours, come get it.
Starting to send these to 21 and me or whatever. What's the genetic testing thing?
Oh, yeah.
20.
Well, it's yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, we did that for Max, the whole genetic thing,
Yeah.
and I can't remember the name of that company because Shanna did it, but
What?
I don't know, DNA stuff.
Yeah, the DNA test.
How many hands high is your dog? Because this is a huge shit.
Yeah. Is the reason you left it because you can't lift it?
Yeah.
Because I'm not forklift certified either.
I mean, I'm not advocating that you walk behind your dog with a fucking big trash can and a scoop. You know what I mean? But at least pick up after your fucking dog.
Right.
You know? We were, when we were on the coast of Oregon last 2 weekends ago,
Yeah.
we were in Lincoln City and we're in this little area, real neat little area. And we're walking back to the car and there's this young couple with like a little tiny dog like near us. And the dog just hunches up and takes a shit right on the sidewalk. And like my wife didn't see it and my daughter didn't see it, but I saw it. And we've got our dog and on the end of his leash is a bag of bags. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just, she just like was like, you know, and then her and her boyfriend like scurried off the other direction, like away from us. And I just wanted to be like, and I'm not very confrontational typically.
Right.
So I'm like, I told my wife, I'm like, hey, their dog just shit right there on the sidewalk. Should I ask them if they need a bag? You know?
Right.
And of course I did not, but what the fuck?
Yeah. What the fuck?
What the hell?
There's like a frequent dog walker. Maybe if I've mentioned this, there's a frequent dog walker when I was running more between here and Mega Aquatics.
Yeah.
There are.
Where people get shot.
Yeah. Yes. God damn. There are multiple bags. So,
Oh yeah.
like the person took the time
to get it in the bag.
to get in the bag, and at the time, there were 3 in the same spot. So it's like this is the pattern.
You're
for your
halfway
dog.
there.
You know this happens right here.
Yeah.
And you can see, and you're either kicking or placing the bags at least twice. You have looked in and seen your previous shit bag that you tried to hide,
Right.
and you put another one right next to it.
Yeah.
You did this twice. Whoever you are, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like you
know, I will say this.
get no extra credit for that.
We've had Max on a trail and he's taken a shit right at the beginning of the trail and then we've back. And it's like, I know if I don't find a trash can that I don't want to be holding on to a bag of shit.
Right.
Because we're at the beginning of our hike and we're going to be coming back through this spot. Right. So I'll find a place and put it down, but I will actively pick it back up on the way out.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's what you do.
And I'm sure, yes, that works.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you don't know,
Right.
but yet on the entrance or exit, you leave it, that's fine. Like, I get it. Yeah, that works. Like, I think that's a reasonable exception.
Yeah.
If there were 3 or 4 bags next to yours, then you'd be like, what does that mean?
Oh, I mean,
you did that all the time.
The stuff on my walk, they don't even try to pick it up. It's not even in a bag. It's just a fucking shit, you know?
Yeah.
And it's terrible. And I think today there were two. I ended up talking to a guy, so one of my neighbors I caught on our walk, and so I didn't want to get the phone out and be like,
Hey,
while I'm talking to the dude, because I'm like, this will be weird. But I figured tomorrow I'll probably.
Hey, what you doing there, Mr. Schroeder? Oh, just taking pictures of shit.
That's right.
Well, that's a weird one. I like feet. And you're like, oh, fuck, dude, way too much.
No. Yeah.
You ever had a girl? You ever fucking ear?
What the fuck?
No,
man.
No.
This is
hey, don't judge me. I don't take pictures of shit. And you're like, oh god, here we go.
Are you gonna post your feet pictures on next door? Because that's what I'm gonna do with these shit pictures. Yeah. I've decided that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start a series. I'm just gonna, even if they get taken down, I'll post a new one as soon as I find another shit. I don't know if I'll use the word shit in the post. I'll probably try and make it funny.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen Tom Hanks does this series, I think on Instagram, where he takes pictures of like a fallen glove, like a one-off glove that he finds on the street.
Okay.
And he'll snap a picture of it and talk about where he found it.
Okay.
It's funny. I think it's hilarious.
Huh.
Because it's pictures of a glove. Someone lost a glove and he's like, oh, and then he puts it on Instagram.
Huh. I see that once in a while, like a random sock.
That's weird.
And you're like, but it's just one.
Yeah.
Like, how'd that happen? Now, as a dad, if you've ever been on a walk or something with like little kids, your kids are, especially toddlers, like they'll reach down and grab their feet. Like, I presume in my mind that's how that happens. Like, a kid reached down and he's like, and like,
pull the sock off.
Pulls the sock off and like.
But we're talking about an adult sock.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Have you seen an adult sock or like one shoe?
Like
Did someone get hit by a car right here and one shoe flew off or something? I don't know.
When we had, it's like in your vein with the shit story. When we had more DG over here on the right hand side by the RV pad. DG. Decomposed granite.
Oh, okay.
So
good old DG. Yeah, everybody knows.
We have it in between the runners, but we had more of it all over the place.
Yeah.
Cats would scrape a pile and then shit in it. And it was like, okay, listen. And I was going to start like I was start putting little posters.
Or maybe crime scene tents, like number 3.
Right. Like, and it was going to be like, is this your cat? And like, just like, right where there's a cat shit. Like, whose cat?
Yeah.
Is this your cat? Like,
is this your cat's shit?
Yeah. Like, come on, man.
No one's gonna.
Like, and it's different from dogs. I can't. Right. Like, oh, shit.
That is my cat.
That's
shit.
Mr. Biggles. I would recognize that hair-laden turd anywhere. Yeah. That's Mr. Biggles.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, cats, and no one's really walking their cats, and no one's bagging behind a cat.
Right.
But if you're going to let your cat out, newsflash, your cat may be shitting on someone else's property.
Or, like what happened on our porch, is the fucking hairball yak on the porch.
Oh, really?
Right on her front porch.
You're like, surprised.
Well, yeah, we were out there.
Been Melly's cat?
No, that cat doesn't go outside.
Oh, okay.
But it's like we're doing stuff out front, and there's like kind of go to the end of the porch because we have like a covered porch.
Yeah.
Poured cement thing in the front of the house, and on the corner of the porch, there's a cat hairball yak.
See, I'm not around cats enough where I would like look at that and go, I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's a furry fucking. It looks like a furry runny shit, is what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a hairball. Yeah.
I mean,
but it's like. I
mean, I know what a thong looks like in a shit. So I mean, because Jack's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you.
Yeah, not mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you.
I don't eat thongs. Yeah. I've got to clarify.
Well, that's not why I figured someone was wearing one and then someone pushing one through it.
Oh.
That's what
Jesus
in my
Christ.
mind, I went, that's why I went to the camera like, what?
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. You're splitting it in half? Like,
Yeah.
what's going down?
No,
Okay. Yeah.
And small socks.
Well, you shouldn't have anybody.
I've seen the puke in a glass cleaner.
I mean, you
before.
shouldn't have anybody here with small socks in your house. They should all be fairly regular
now,
human sized.
Yeah, but, Jesus.
Oh, back in the day?
Back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus, Jax is 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a small window.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the no-show socks, because those are tiny.
Yeah.
No, I don't wear no-show socks, but those are small, even for an adult human foot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, my running anklets are really small.
Stretched to fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could put a lot of meat in there.
Yeah. I can tell what religion you are by your socks. Yeah. It's that tight. You ever heard the term quitters, speaking of socks? Quitters.
Quitters?
Yeah.
In reference to socks?
Yeah.
No.
I had never heard this term until my wife made friends with this chick at work named Jamie.
Okay.
Jamie's a cool chick. But she has a term for socks that have given up.
Okay.
In other words, socks that creep down the back of your foot and like into your shoe.
Okay.
Those
so
are quitters.
The elastic is blown out.
Yeah. Those are quitters. And it just fucking slays me, the term quitter in relation to a sock. And so it's a thing now. Like, I'd never heard the term quitter. And my wife one day was like, I'm like, oh, your sock's going into your shoe. And she goes, yeah, it's a quitter. And I'm like, what? Yeah. And yeah. Oh, yeah. Jamie says that she calls them quitters. When the socks just give it up and they're like, I can't hold on anymore. I am out. Yeah, I'm going for the toe.
No thanks.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And you can see it, right? Especially those low pro socks. They start going vertical across the top, across the side of your foot,
like the bacon neck for a T-shirt, where it's like,
yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
this collar is,
losing
it,
yeah,
like it's not
like a stretched out, thing, yeah,
like blown out Sean's mom.
But I think that's one of the funniest terms ever is
that's a
quitter. Yeah, I thought it was funny
for socks.
Yeah. So anyway, what were we talking about?
Welcome to Sad.com podcast, episode 200. Eyes lost of him.
200 huh?
I'm the Lord Fu.
I'm Jim.
Cadillac check. No.
We had a scare.
Yeah.
This week. So just to update everybody, I don't have it. But for reals, I called on last Thursday. And I was like, look, man, it has been a month since
it's update time.
You fixed it and gave it back to me and it broke immediately and I brought it back. It's been a month.
Right.
Okay. And I haven't heard a single word what is happening. Like, what is the deal? And so I called and the manager wasn't around and I kind of complained about the service writer because that dude just kind of jumped on me when I just called after a week about, hey, what's happening? I haven't heard from you. Well, if I knew anything, I'd call you.
So what is the role of the service writer relative to the person that's working on the car?
He doesn't work on the car. He's the guy that's the customer service part of it. He's the one that you talk to when you here's what's wrong. He writes up all the shit.
Okay.
And then that goes to the tech, and then the techs work on it. And then if any information needs to be relayed back to the customer, he's the guy that does it.
Okay.
So he's the customer service aspect of this whole thing.
I gotcha.
And so I heard nothing and he was like a dick. He was kind of a dick when I talked to him. And so I'm not going to call to have someone be a dick to me. Like, fine, I guess if you have something to tell me, you're going to call me.
Right.
Well, a month later and I had nothing. So, I finally called and the manager wasn't there and I didn't want to talk to the service writer. Hey, his name is also Sean. I didn't want to talk to Sean. So I told the guy I didn't really want to talk to Sean. So could you have the manager call me? So he called me the next day and I was like, look, man, you guys have had my car for a month and a half. In the most recent drop off a month, I need a car. Like, I need my car working. Like, is anything happening with it? Is it just the tire's going to rot in the back lot? Is the gas going to go bad? Like, what's going on? So he basically told me that they were making some progress, but that the guy who was the tech who was working on it had to like get off of it because, you know, they get kind of rabbit holed in their mind about how to go about fixing an issue.
Right.
So he was stuck, and so he had to let it go for a couple of days. I'm like, that's fine. This is all new. None of this is. You haven't told me. None of this is anything that you have told me.
Right.
And or that I've known, that I've had any information or privilege to any of this information. So he tells me, he called me and said, "Hey, you know, we're making progress. Very possible we could have it. I was hoping to have it done today, but we're short on guys. Probably tomorrow." Right.
Right.
So when I didn't hear from him on whatever day that was here in the last week, Monday, then I called Tuesday, like, just checking, is my car going to be ready today? And, you know, they're like, oh, we want to keep it one more day. We don't want the same thing to happen. Like, you get it back and it immediately has a problem. And I'm like, fine. Right. That was yesterday. So then today's the one more day. So I called at 4 because they didn't fucking call me. And of course, the manager's not there. So Sean, I end up talking to Sean. Oh, I was just going to call you. Yeah, fucking sure you were.
Right.
And he's like, oh, we're making progress on it, but the technician took it out for a drive. And from what I understand, he got a check engine light and they haven't looked at the code yet or something.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at today. So feel like I'm just in the same fucking boat. Like, I don't understand. And the issue that they were saying that they had was a water ingress into a wire connector harness.
Okay.
So something was wet, and which kind of would make sense. That
It's
if
been
you had,
really wet here lately.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never had any problem with moisture. So what happened? Like, I don't know. There's so many question marks.
Yeah.
And I mean, so that's where I'm at. And I don't even know what the new there's a check engine light. I got a email from OnStar telling me my car had a issue and that it needed to go to the shop. And I'm like, motherfucker, it's been there for 3 months.
Right. I know.
What do you mean?
Would you want their phone number? Because I can put you right in contact with the guys.
Yeah.
Maybe they can two birds.
And then I'm like, okay, is this like did OnStar contact me because they just set a code on it? Like, is this the foreboding of like you're not actually getting your car back, which it turns out to be? Yeah, probably, because I don't have my car back.
Right. They're like, may frequently cause a P2150. You're like, no.
Yeah, and so I'm just in this mode, and I was really bummed after that phone call. I was just like, whatever. Like, I don't get my hopes up. Like,
yeah.
It's just like, oh, yeah, that's funny. Tomorrow, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
And then even after I get the car back, I'm not really believing it.
Right.
Do I drive it? I don't know.
If I don't drive it, it can't throw a code.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you know, we were talking about this a little bit in the Discord and about how, you know, everyone's like, you should just take it right on down. After you get it fixed, just take it right on down to CarMax. And it's like, well, yeah, that's great, except all the cars are really fucking expensive right now.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I really don't want a car payment if I can get away with it. And I really like the car. So, I mean, I'm conflicted.
Right.
And so there's a lot to be considered there.
Yes. No one wants to make the car payments.
And it was like I had 3.5 years of like, it ran 100% fine.
Is it paid off?
Yeah, I paid it in full when I bought it.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I just Frusty. I'm frusty, but almost like, to a certain extent, like sort of dead to it.
Yeah, no.
Like I have this thing that just is somewhere else that I paid a bunch of money for that, I don't know, somebody else looks at it all the time and I don't get to even, it doesn't sit in my garage. And that's the other thing, is because my car has not been in the garage, things have started to creep into the space where my car goes. Not that it's like going to be a problem, but it's funny because there's like an Amazon delivery on the floor in there. There's like a cooler sitting out in its space. My wife doesn't even fully park on her side of the garage anymore. It's just like, hey, I got all kinds of room.
There's so much room in here.
Yeah, I love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. And then, of course, I'm like, in my mind, like, I think it was not last night. Maybe it was last night. I was like pulling the CRV into the garage, kind of like off-centered, you know, it more in the middle of the garage. And I'm like, oh, this will be the last time I can do this for a while. Hopefully. No.
Hashtag JetBlue.
Hashtag repair from hell. So there's the update on the Cadillac. I wish I had better news.
Emily had her buddy come get the Jeep.
I saw it was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little bit sad about that.
Because you like seeing it in the driveway?
No. You know, I was explaining to her, because I had bought some parts for it in hopes that it was something simple.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes back to however long it's been. It's been here for maybe half a year at this point.
Yeah.
Until it was clear that it was the blown piston.
You're the John's Auto Care of
right. Like,
DIYers.
Well, we knew exactly what was wrong. Like, here's this picture. See this piston? That looks like coffee cake.
Oh.
So when she showed up before the jump. But there's a funny story there. The guy that was going to pick it up and do the donor swap, I'm like, so in your passenger seat there are gaskets, exhaust gasket, intake manifold gasket. I bought bigger matched injectors that were going to be better.
Oh damn, those weren't cheap.
Well, they weren't expensive.
Like $30 or $40 a piece or something? Less than that?
No, I think it's $60 for the set of 4.
They're
remanufactured.
Okay.
They're not brand new, but it's like a common Jeep thing to take some Bosch ones and okay. Better high flow, better all around, better spray pattern, everything. But it's also like a common way to get a little bit more out of your Jeep, certainly better gas mileage. And I was like, man, if we were in here, like, you might as well do this anyway.
Yeah.
So I had those. I had a full timing chain kit, gasket stuff. Again, not super expensive, but I was like, hey, if we're going to be in here doing some sort of thing, I think at the time we were hoping it was like a timing chain had skipped a tooth or something.
Right.
Obviously, that was not it. So I told her, I'm like, all of this stuff is yours. I'm like, if you want to put this on the donor motor to like refresh the donor motor and then put that in and then sell it. Cool. I'm like, it's yours. It's yours. If you don't want to touch the donor motor because then you're, decorking the bottle kind of a thing, it's yours. You can sell this stuff on eBay or pay. Rather you paid it forward to another Jeep owner that doesn't have or needs parts. Yeah. You do that. I said, it's yours. Take it. Go nuts. So she was telling me about the friend that was coming to pick it up. She was saying it was a member of like the Slavic community because she's Ukrainian by heritage. And she was telling me, like, so what's he apparently in his off time, he rebuilds, takes in and rebuilds Miatas.
Oh, wow.
And then sells Miatas, like rebuilt kind of a thing. So he knows his shit. But we were talking about like, oh, so he is good with Jeeps. She's like, no, but it's like a Slavic thing to like do something, and all the guys work in automotive on the side. It's like that's the hobby. Like you could take most of the members of the Slavic community that are like intertwined, and they could probably open or work at a mechanic shop and like just drop them in and go.
Right.
It's like some sort of inherent cultural thing. She's like, all the guys just pretty much do that on the side. They like go to work 9 to 5 or longer, and then when they come home, like the American, like there's like Camaro in the front yard with blocks, and the reason that the Rhino had been here, or the Jeep had been here so long, was because he was through whatever allocation process that he has in his yard.
Oh.
He couldn't fit another car.
All of his available bay slots were filled.
Yes, he couldn't fit another vehicle in the yard at the time, so he had to fix one and get it out the gate before he could take another one. He lives somewhere out in Granite Bay, on property.
Oh,
because he came in a beater diesel 2500 Dodge with a rented U-Haul car hauler on it, and it had probably 5 bales of alfalfa in it.
really?
Yeah, with a camper shell. I'm like, this is my kind of guy right here.
Wow.
I'm like, I can feel, because my dad's side is all Czech. I'm like, these are my people. Like, there's alfalfa. This guy is like, I'm like, oh man. And he laughed after we had like just clean and jerked the Jeep up pretty much onto the car trailer. And like he's pulling away, and I'm just like in my mind, I'm like, I just want to be friends with this guy. Like, can I be a journeyman? Like, just drive out to his property and be like, what are we fixing today?
And I hope that was the guy that was supposed to pick it up.
Yeah. Like, what? And she was here, but yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Oh, I have a car sales on Riverside. You're like, what the fuck?
Who are you?
Who are you? I told Piper, and then Emily left. I'm like, and I had also told Emily about the.
You mean you wouldn't do a motor swap for her?
If I had one, honestly, in a heartbeat, I would. But
Talk about a challenge.
And what was funny is given his accolades that she was talking about, I overheard him talking to her, but he already has the donor, 88,000 miles on the donor. And he was like, so I can get this out, and like checked over and swapped probably in about 2 hours, but I want to take some time to like check the transmission to make sure that because it's a 4-cylinder, that the 31s that she's been running on haven't done a number on the transmission. Yeah. But I heard 2 hours, and I'm like, oh, who knows what he's doing?
It's easy when you got all the stuff too.
True.
You got the space and the stuff and all the tools and everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, man, can I come out? Anyway, so I told Piper, I'm like, no, let me get to the other part. I told her the story about like the Good Samaritan Facebook group that does the rescue stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, that'd be fun. And she's like, you'll get there one day. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, not in this. So I was
no, you should just outfit the RS with a bunch of like jacks and towing stuff and like a
big Thule box.
And, with a winch. Put a winch on the front of it.
I don't really have enough weight.
Knobby tires.
But check it out. I got a winch. Yeah.
Put a lift kit on there.
Hell yeah.
Dude.
Worked for Richard Hammond.
Yeah.
What did he kept blowing axles, I think. Or the control arms.
Was it RS?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they went somewhere. I can't remember what the other guys had, but he put the tank treads on it.
Oh.
And it kept blowing, I think, the control arms or the axles. I can't remember what.
Something, it wasn't,
yeah.
Didn't
but
like that
they
pressure.
did it. They put the tank treads
on
all 4 wheels of the RS. It was kind of funny. I told Pepper, like, a little sad about it. Like, the good Samaritan me, she's like the other daughter.
Yeah.
Like, if I just had more time and obviously more money, like, especially because the latest I've been talking to Dad about, like, it's almost like the resurgence of you get to like an if you're a car person or a driving enthusiast, and you get to like a certain age where like the kids are starting to get to a place, and if you're a car person, I'm starting to see this like resurgence in, hey, that first car I had, or boy, I'd like to, and I was I'm like I'm touching on that place. I'm constantly gated and slapped in the head with like the fungo bat of reality that is all those things cost money. All those things take a huge amount of time.
Yeah.
And because you're a computer wizard and not a mechanic wizard, there's even more time that it would take that you would have something on blocks that was non-functional because you can't double dip.
Right.
Or triple dip or quadruple dip. You're a dad, you're a husband, you're a full-time employee.
Yeah. You're a home maintenance guy.
Right. And, all of a sudden you're a fucking mechanic.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Well, I mean, I feel like that too. When we just did I just found out actually I'm going to try and clean the throttle body on the CRV. Not try, I'm going to do it. But when I went to look at how easy it was to get off,
right.
I'm looking at the airbox to the throttle body hose that's got a bunch of shit attached to it,
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it and I go, oh, damn. And I start poking it with my finger and it is literally splitting into pieces.
Oh.
And I went, oh, shit. And this car's got to get smogged here in the next month or so.
Oh.
And if that's going to be unmetered air into the motor, that's going to be a problem.
Red, ding, ding, ding.
So then I'm like, well, I'm not touching the throttle body until I can replace this piece, because when I go to take that off the throttle body, it's going to tear apart.
Right.
So I've got to order, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've got to order that. And so I've got that coming, and
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like when we just did the axles, we were talking about that. I felt mechanic. I felt like a mechanic.
Yeah.
Out in my garage. But that was a quick job. It was like a 2-hour thing.
Right.
I'm not replacing an engine.
Right.
Yeah.
I
just watched one of my favorite YouTube channels is Rain Man Ray Repairs.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this, what was it? He had some car in there that he had to replace the transmission on because the transmission was trashed. But the easiest way to do this, easiest procedure for this is to drop the subframe in the entire motor.
Okay.
This is a dude just working in his own garage, not like a home garage, but he has a shop, his own shop, pulling a full motor and trans out of this thing as for a customer. And it only, it was like a 3 or 4 part series of videos that he put together. And it was not a trivial amount of work for sure, but he pulled it out, put it all back together, buttoned it all. I mean, it was just like, man, this guy knows his shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're that kind of efficient, that's one thing. But if you're a guy that doesn't do this stuff all the time, it makes a big difference in how it's approached and, second guessing yourself when you're doing something.
Yeah.
That makes a difference in how much time it takes to do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I totally get all that. And that guy's doing it. He knows exact, and all the bolts go back in. Like he doesn't have any hardware left over. It's like, how the fuck is that even possible? He's not even putting them in bags and writing on them what they are. Mind blowing how well he puts that stuff together.
Talent.
Yeah.
Like small engines, I think we were talking about It was, I think, when Mike was mentioning that Sarah wanted to, something about a throttle body on her motorcycle. I'm like, I'll get into a 600 cc and under
motorcycle.
Yeah. I'll just start ripping and tearing. Like especially small motor shit, fucking lawnmowers, weed eaters, rototiller. Like the rototiller. See, Dad stopped by Friday, and the section I filled 2 green waste cans. By the way, it's that time.
Yeah.
So I started on a chunk of the lawn by the big maple tree, where I'm like, it's getting weeds, and I hadn't started the weed eater in a season and change because it hadn't been needed. But I'm attacking this section of that no longer lawn by the tree manually. Now, we've talked at length before. Like, I don't have a lawnmower anymore because I personally neglected the ones that I bought, and then they broke and went to shit. And then I bought one and then neglected it, and it went to shit. So I have a push
bladey,
a push, spinny
manual
guy.
pusher.
I mean, my edger is the like ninja star thing on like a broom handle that you it just pinch.
The callus blister maker.
Yes. So most of my lawn stuff is now manual
You're going back in time.
Yes, manually operated stuff. And a lot of that is like me serving my own penance for spending too much money.
I don't know. I'll come over with my horse and buggy. I'll help you out.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Just start walking Friday, and when you get here Saturday, we mow the lawn, and you'll be back to work on Monday.
Right.
It'll be good to go.
That'll be good.
And 2, like coming from the country, we didn't have most of these things anyway. We have weed eaters. Did most of the shit with weed eaters. But if you were working in the garden, it was like sweat equity stuff. There were shovels and round nose and squares and hose.
Sweat-kitty.
Yeah.
Sweat.
Do people actually shorten it like that?
No, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It just sounded.
Sweat-kitty?
I just, in my mind, I just had to say it. Sweat-kitty.
So the small engine things, I'm super comfortable with. So I'm attacking this chunk of the lawn, and my dad stops by, and so I'm using like a 3-pronged like tear rake, the big rake, fan rake. I'm not shovel
Words.
Right. Hurting is making linguistics. But I've tore up a good chunk of the lawn with hand tools, and I'm like good with it. My dad stops by, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing?
Yeah, and I'm like, it's sunny outside, Dad. I'm outside, and I'm putting in the time. And he's like, where's the rototiller? And I went,
in my hand, Dad.
Yeah. Like, do you see the stick, Dad? And he's like, yeah, but where's the rototiller? And I went, okay. See, I thought about that, Dad, but
I don't know how to keep it running.
Yeah, it's over there. It's over there with the thing on it. And I said, I don't want to get it out because I properly winterized it. I'm not buying another fucking rototiller.
Oh, okay.
And because I share it with him, I'm not going to wreck it. So I drained the gas, and it's good to go. It was winterized. I'm like, I don't want to get that thing out, fill it with gas, only for us to get another fucking Noah's Ark 30 days and 30 nights of rain. And now I've got this out here de-winterized, and I'm not going to make mud pies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm tackling what I can with what I got. That was Friday. Saturday was really nice again, and I got a pretty good handle on my square. Well, I have white clover, a couple bags of white clover seeds. I'm just gonna seed the whole thing with white clover and just let that go nuts. He and my dad, from my I asked him, like, bring the truck down too, and just bring a bale of straw down, because when I put the seed out, I'll just cover it, and that'll keep the weeds down and give the clover a chance to take hold. So he came down on Friday with a bale of hay. So now I am locked into a process.
Oh yeah.
Like, well, there's no turning back now.
The bale is here.
Yeah,
Get
the
working.
right? And Jax has already peed on the stuff that I haven't distributed.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, so Saturday, I got out. It was, I'm looking at the forecast. I'm like, well, it's not.
We're not going to get any more rain. It's
right.
going to be 1,000,000 degrees until next November.
Well, if we get thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday next week.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh.
So fucking sweet. I already, anyway. So, but this week has been all sunny. So I'm like, I'm doing it. Like, now's my time. Like, Dad put me in a rock and a hard place with a bale of hay. Fuck it. So Saturday afternoon, I wheeled out the rototiller, and in 15, 20 minutes, carburetor disassembled, clean the jets, everything back together, gas in it, start it, it's going, and I'm rototilling.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I felt like mechanically inclined. It's not the axles on the CRV,
right?
But it was like, I have no qualms or reservations or apprehension about pulling this thing apart and knowing exactly how to put it together. I fucking tore a gasket. I got gas paper. I'll just make a new gasket and
sure.
I'll be good to go. Like, nothing about that gives me pause. Like, I'll start doing this shit blindfolded. I don't really care.
Yeah.
And it worked because I was rototilling all Saturday. Like, got my seed out, straw tossed out, fucking sweet,
Yeah.
Man on the mission.
Yeah.
Now, bad news is, it's like 40% of that chunk.
Yeah.
I've got to figure out.
So you still got 60% to go.
Right. So I'm like, in my continued penance, I've always wanted a scythe. But I've never actually seen one.
I mean, it could double over as a Grim Reaper costume thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've never actually seen one at any of the stores I've been to.
Have you been up to Tractor Supply?
Like a Tractor Supply?
Yeah. Up in Rockland?
No, not that one. I've been to the one in Auburn.
Well, there's one
but
in Rockland.
But I can't say that I've actually looked for a scythe. But like at the hardware oh my God.
Words.
Hardware stores.
Words are hard.
That I've been to out here.
Yeah.
I've never run across one. Now, I went in looking at Amazon. You might know it's a I didn't know what this was until I saw it on Amazon, and I went, and I think I've seen one at Home Depot. It's essentially like it's a blade, about 4 to 5 inches wide, and about 1.5 to 2 feet long, and it sits on like an angle of a handle.
Uh-huh.
So it's like a broom length handle,
uh-huh.
and it sits on a 30 degree angle, and it's a corrugated blade.
Okay.
And I thought it was just some sort of flat rake thing, but I had no, like maybe a seeding group.
Is it similar to a hoe or?
Yes.
Okay.
But I never figured out, like, you go to look at the lawn tools and there's no, like, this is what it's for.
Right.
It's like the person that knows, like, no one goes, what's a pick do?
I feel like if you know what it is, you're going to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like everything else in there, like, oh, it's just a short shovel.
Yeah.
Like, or it's a trench shovel. Like, yeah, I get it.
Those make sense.
But I saw this thing and I'm like, man, I'm not making a garden, so I don't know what that does. And I'm not making seed grooves, so
Yeah.
It's a swinging,
like a thresher?
Yes.
Okay.
It replacement for a scythe.
Okay.
So you use it in the same way, but it's essentially just a weed cutter.
But it doesn't have like the sharp, like hooked.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's effectively like a straight razor, like a razor blade.
So you swing it with the blade level to the ground.
You kind of swing, you kind of like a swooping pendulum kind of thing, and it just...
Does the blade go towards you or away from you?
Perpendicular to you. So you swing it, like if the blade is like this, you swing it like this as you step through.
Okay. So it just hangs on the bottom of the...
Yeah, you don't pull it at you.
Okay.
Yeah, it just hangs.
I got you.
Right. Like if you were like a putter.
Yeah. I get it.
So
no, I do.
That's probably what the...
No, seriously.
I mean, you just had an anniversary,
cool.
so I hope you did. So that was probably what the dogs were barking at because it was supposed to be delivered today. I'm excited for another...
What am I looking at?
Oh, the dogs barking. It's probably on the porch.
I didn't hear them.
Well, apparently I would have passed a better hearing test than you.
Probably. So. You probably didn't go to nearly as many punk rock shows as I did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
or my wife, for that matter.
Hashtag sorry for your hearing. Although I was playing Danzig Mother pretty loud on my way back, so.
Oh, I remember when that came out, and it was cool, and then not that cool.
Not cool.
Anyway. Sorry.
So I'm excited for this tool.
Yeah. That's what she said.
That's hey. As much as I would like to just tear apart and de-winterize the weed eater.
Yeah.
So
is your weed eater gas then?
Yes,
you only buy gas?
It's a 2-stroke.
Okay.
I think before,
you can't even buy those now.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Before you. Yeah. No. It's the.
You have to go to Reno or something.
And then bring it back in.
Yeah.
But it's totally legal.
Is that contraband? Can you cross the border with a brand new weed whacker?
Oh, I took this out here. And if you are asking to have me whack my weed, then I didn't bring any of that over either.
Yeah. No. Well, I think it's legal in Nevada anyway.
Is it? And
Oregon for sure.
2 strokes?
Weed.
Oh. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
All right.
I mean, I don't partake in
but
weed.
I'm like now I'm like looking at what I have to, because now it's the amount of sun that we've had in the last 4 days, like all the stuff that I didn't get to is now had gone total ape shit.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, my yards are going nuts right now.
Weeds?
Just so much green, and they're just growing like fucking crazy. I'm like, let's keep that going. I'm like putting fertilizer down and like a couple of places where I got some weeds that are creeping in the grass. I had like sprayed last summer a couple times to get rid of. I had some like really creeping in weeds in several places in the front yard.
Yeah.
And I got this pesticide, not a pesticide, insecticide. No, not a pesticide.
Oh, words are hard, huh, motherfucker?
Herbicide.
There you go.
That's what I got, an herbicide that'll kill pretty much everything except the grass. And I went around, man, there is hardly any left. There's just a couple places over the weekend I mowed and edged and then got the herbicide out and sprayed all the spots I could find. Oh man, my yard's looking so good right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I put, what did we, I think it was that in between storm. I think when we started looking at the forecast, I'm like, when's the green waste come?
Yeah.
And so this weekend I filled both green waste cans. And then when my dad was here, normally I'll just sit down and we'll just like jaw. I'm like, no. I got to keep, I like weeded a good chunk of all the stuff at the back fence. And like, it's just in piles. Like I probably have 2 cans staged to fill them like on the quick. And now they're going to sit for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Until the rotation for the green waste can. But I'm like, I got to get this stuff these weeds out of the ground.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise it's going
to be out of control.
Right. And I think too about like how the weed eater works. Like, man, fucking if I just have something that's like a hand pace, like I don't want vaporized weeds in my clothes. But if I can just like scythe it and with
the thing about
tool, I'm like, sweet.
The thing about the weed whacker is that just by its design and the way it works, is it spreads seeds around. You know,
yeah.
You start just tearing up all that shit. It's kicking stuff out, and it's gonna end up getting seeds in places you don't want it anyway.
Right.
So you might be knocking down the weeds, but it's going to be temporary because you're dropping all kinds of other seeds just in the fact that you're shredding up everything.
Absolutely just ejecting.
Yeah.
This should hopefully be much more
Can you
tame.
Come over to my neighbor's house and do that in her front yard? Because
weeds in the front?
Oh my gosh, she does not give any fucks about what's happening in her front yard.
Oh, really?
It's just full of dandelions and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
How much of that shit's ending up in my yard?
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to be proactive with the weed killer stuff because it's coming for me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Does
the wind blow your direction from her?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Today it did.
I mean, I did have a couple dandelions in the front yard.
Yeah.
So.
Obviously.
I mean.
To some extent, it
but
does.
her yard, she had this tree that was there. She had it cut down, and then they chipped the trunk, what do you call it?
Stump?
The stump.
Yeah.
Yeah, they grinded the stump up, and she just left the pile there, and weeds are just growing up out of the stump pile.
Oh, no.
And the rest of the grass, she hasn't done anything to, and it's just fucking weeds. And it's just like, bro, just mow it every once in a while or something, you know? It's so frustrating. But I know that stuff's ending up in my yard.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, it does. We're near time.
I didn't have 27-ish years. I don't know how long we've lived there now, but 27-ish years of the same grass in my front yard, only to have my neighbor just not give any shits.
You have good take because my sod gave up the ghost, and my house is younger than yours. Like although, no, you have trees.
Yeah,
you have trees in your front.
Well, we resodded the back, and it's
okay.
The back's trashed. I think part of it's from the dog just peeing on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Your front is untouched.
The front is untouched. We haven't ever resodded it. There are bits of it that have receded around the backside. There we have that tree in the front. And there's grass around the back of it. That grass back there has kind of receded, but the rest of it's fine. And I've thought about like filling in with some topsoil back there and just getting a new layer of sod. I don't know. We'll see. There's a bunch of work to do out front.
When you were growing up, your dad have a toolkit?
Yeah. I mean, he had a toolbox and stuff.
So tell me if this rings with your experience of your dad's and or grandpa's toolkit.
Okay.
Like it's a mishmash.
Oh, yeah.
Of various things.
Yep.
Various brands.
Yep.
It's a toolbox that probably you carried, like a one-handed.
Yep.
A top and a bottom, and
like
maybe
old Craftsman with the flip top.
A tray thing inside it.
Yep.
Various screwdrivers of completely
usually wood handles.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that's my experience with my dad and anyone at that age bracket with tools. Even Venus's dad.
Yeah.
Venus's dad, though, it was just more organized, but had more of all of that shit.
Okay.
Okay.
So just more of the same kind of tools.
More of the same kind of experience. These are the advent of toolkits and sets is like something that
foreign.
It's foreign to them.
Yeah.
They like the tools that they had were all purpose used and probably handed down from them, and then they would add to their set as needed in an
I need a screwdriver.
Right. I don't know. Damn near stripped this one and the handle broke. I'm gonna go get me one of them Stanley ones.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then someone takes one or two and they give it to the uncle, and all you have is the one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes. Okay. So I'm setting the picture here.
All right.
So Monday, my dad at like near the end of the workday, like 4:00, I'm tidying up a mail, and dogs start going ape shit, and doorbell rings. My dad, fucking don't ring the bell, Dad. You know, God damn it, don't ring the bell. And then he doesn't knock. He says, knock, knock. And I'm like, door's open, Dad. So he comes in and he walks down the hall and he's like, I need a socket.
Just one.
And I went, what?
just
He's
one
like,
socket.
He's like, I need a 15/16 impact socket for a 3/4. And I went, or a 1/2 inch. I need a 1/2 inch, 15/16.
Yeah.
And I went,
do you have that?
I'm like, I don't know if I have one, an impact.
You don't have a 1/2 inch impact.
Right. And, right.
Yeah.
Not yet. And so I'm still it's not Friday.
Yeah.
So my dad is here at the end of the day, and he's like, a 1/2 inch, 15/16 impact socket. And I'm like, still kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? What? And I'm like, well, what are you doing, Dad? And we're walking out to the garage, and he's like, I want to sharpen the blade on the riding mower. And he has two 15/16 box ends to undo the nut to get the blade off. But he's like, in like a moment of like
desperation,
honesty, he's like,
I
don't have the strength to brute force that bullshit anymore.
They're on there.
Yeah. He's like, so I'm just thinking smarter, not harder. I'll just whiz it off and impact, but I don't have a 15/16 socket. And I went,
or an impact.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And so then I'm like, wait, 15/16. I don't think I have. Well, one, I don't. He's like, oh, we can adapt it, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, all right. Well, I have impacts, and I have, a 1/4 inch impact, and I have a 3/8 impact.
Yeah.
And I have impact sockets, and I had apparently in my impact socket set, I did have a reducer or a bit to go up
from 3/8 to
right.
1/2 inch.
But I did not have a 1/2 inch 15/16 impact socket. I did have a 1/2 inch 15/16 socket, but it was just like a normal chrome thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, take that. We had
use it.
We had the adapter and we had the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, Dad, I used to take tap water and run it straight through my nose. So who the fuck cares about what happens here? I'm like, I'm sure there's all kinds of warnings about what's going to happen to that chrome piece of socket, and you run a 3/8 inch impact to it, but you live life dangerously, like rinsing your nose out with fucking tap water.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And I went, yeah, just trust me.
So does he know the difference between a chrome one and a...
he knows.
Oh, okay.
But neither of us are of the fucks.
Just don't have it.
We don't. I'm like, it's a socket. I'll buy a new 1/2 inch 15/16 socket and put it in my set, and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't really care. But it got him to the place that he wanted to be, And I'm like, cool. And I'm like, what are you down here for, Dad? Like, what? Are you down here for a game? You have a game later? And he's like, no, I just needed the socket.
So he drove all the way here.
And I went, Dad, I'll
be back.
Yeah. It's going to take you. It took you longer to come down here than it will take you to get the blade off, sharpen it, and put it back on.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but it would have taken me like $250 to go get or what he would have done is he would have gone to Harbor Freight and bought a $70 one, and then he would have bought another one when it didn't work, and another one.
Right.
And I went, so you really came down here just for the socket? And he went, yeah, I got to get this done. And I went, okay, well, drive home safe. He's like, all right,
I
well,
hope the battery was charged.
yeah. And he yesterday he sent me a thing. He's like, got it done. I'm like, see you Friday
Yeah.
with my socket.
That shit better bring
Yeah.
home.
But I
on
was
back.
telling Venus, she's like, I saw something on the, like, your dad stopped by? I'm like, yeah, he needed a socket. She's like, oh, birthday present idea. And immediately the red flag. And I went, no, like he needs sockets. And I went, no, there's no, his shop is a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Like it is to get my dad a socket set at this period in his life and how he uses tools, it would stay in its case and never get used.
Yeah.
Or it would be in its case and he would take the one socket out and throw it into the bin after he got done using it
Yeah.
into the, I use this. And
Into the pile of other
right.
tools.
And he would be completely oblivious that he actually has a new set.
Right.
Not that he's absent-minded or not that he wouldn't appreciate it. It wouldn't get used because that's not his workflow. His workflow is these are where all my things are, and these are the things I know how to.
It goes here.
And it goes here.
Yeah.
Like I could get him this like that you've eyeballed like my really nice.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm happy with this,
Yeah.
and you can tell that I was in that mentality because I bought this roller. Whatever this case is of like tools that I have, and inside it are this like slow amalgamation from when I was 18, moved out of the house up into my late 20s, where I started like acquiring small sets to then make my own tool cabinet.
Yep.
Only to then myself displace tools or lend out tools that I'm not really worried about it. I'll replace that on my own. Or I break something, or blah, blah, blah. And now I have this Frankenstein tool chest that most of the time I don't use because I got smart about 5 years ago and bought this one thing that has the 3 wrench sizes, deep sockets, metric sockets, SAE sockets. I'm fucking golden. And like most of my stuff gets handled out of that chest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of approach it per job, right?
Right.
Like when I was doing the CRV axles, it was like, what do I need to do this job? Do I have all the stuff? Like before I even ordered the shit, like, can I get the axle nut off? What size is it? Oh, it's a 36. Shit, I don't have a fucking 36 millimeter half-inch sock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, Chandler has a half-inch impact. That's I can do that. Shit, I need to torque that. How do I torque that?
Right.
Fuck, I guess I'll just impact it back on. And then I'm talking to you. You're like, I got one that's a half-inch torque wrench. I'm like, fuck, cool, you know?
Great. Yeah.
And then it was like, well, I need some pry bars. I didn't have any pry bars.
I don't have pry bars either.
Yeah. And I'm like, get on Amazon. Oh, fuck, look at this setup. And you can that's got a metal thing on the back. Perfect. Order that fucking set of 3 pry bars.
You should send that to me, by the way.
I will.
Okay.
But perfect set. And I got all the stuff I knew I was going to need.
Right.
And I think that's what made the job go. When you have the right tools for the job.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But I end up approaching it per the job. Like I have to think about the job. What does the job require as far as tools?
Right.
Oh shit, I don't have this or that. I better get the socket. I need to get this. I need to think about how I need those. And if I don't have them, I'm going to order them to make sure I have them for the job because I'm not going to fucking half-ass that.
Right. And what doesn't help but does is somewhere in between is the problem of a lot of the tools that I've started to acquire for I need this for this job. Security bit set. Like I don't run into it all the time, but now all of these things are starting to come in their own case.
Yeah.
And because I have purchased like a set of bits that I didn't realize I had, but they were in a case that had I'm now labeling my cases,
Right.
like in a Sharpie, like these are security bits, security lug nut removal things,
Right.
like the harmonic balancer puller, tap and dies,
AC gauge set.
right?
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like, and that is something that I've I only learned that after going and buying like a $40-$50 set of some, I can't remember what it was, and only coming home to realize when I was reorganizing my bench
That you had it
that
already.
I have these.
Yeah.
Like,
Because you don't remember.
great. And you can't see it because everything has
Yeah.
its own little case and whatnot. So I'm getting there, and the organization is a little difficult because I would prefer to see.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people like router bits or drill bits, you can actually like see into the window.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would prefer to hang this in a way that I could see the thing. But labeling it has probably saved me a good amount of money
Yeah.
in like I have one of those. Or the amount of times like Chandler has like, or security bit. I think we've run into like a security bit thing or like a star bits.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I think I ran into something on the Miata. I was like, nope, star bits. I got to have some star bits and like a bigger size.
What was it, like triple square?
Yes, triple square.
Yeah, triple square is
like
what
if I ever work on a fucking German Volkswagen, Lamborghini, Audi, whatever, triple squares.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I got a set of those now.
Yeah.
All right, baby.
Yeah, Chandler has to deal with those every time he does something to the GTI. Oh, I gotta get a triple square.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. So, and it's weird because I like look at that tool bench thing and I'm like I keep hodgepodge shit in it because now I do live and die almost out of the DeWalt socket wrench set.
Right.
Like it's all right there.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. Now I got to figure out, like, I just pull the trigger and like this thing's, I don't use this anyway. I need that space back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have those pry bars though.
It's a nice set too. I was really happy with how they
a
work.
good way to tidy up is that I did end up buying the 1/2-inch DeWalt impact.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So when he stops by Friday, I'll be like, Dad, because here's the thing.
Here's the right tool, and here's a socket set.
He would have shown, if he didn't show up, well, now I have to reach out to him before he shows up Friday. Because he left here with like, Harbor Freight has a 1/2-inch for fucking $70. And if I don't stop him,
yeah,
he'll show up Friday. We're like, hey, I went in halves with you on this.
And you're like, fuck.
Harbor Freight Bearcat 1/2-inch. Fucking.
Yeah.
No, Dad.
Instead of getting something decent.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've got the 1/2-inch DeWalt. I'm like, it's going to fit. And now if I ever do stuff on the Z, I've got everything covered. And if he needs to borrow it, he has DeWalt batteries. I have DeWalt batteries. He'll be working with a decent piece of equipment. No, it's not Milwaukee. Fuck off, Data's. It'll be fine.
That's what Chandler has.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, I do have a 3/8-inch impact.
Yeah.
A Milwaukee. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it does most of everything that I needed to do.
Yeah.
The only thing that I wouldn't do would be that 36 millimeter.
Right. And I had to use his big guy for the Pittman ornament on the Jeep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But, Data's won't always be here. And
Yeah.
clearly my dad needs, like, I'll make sure I have this for Dad.
Well, that's tough when you're already, though, invested into a battery system.
Right.
And then suddenly.
Right. I'm like that, too. I'm like, I'm not going to let you buy this. And now I've got to keep a 1/2-inch Wolverine, Bearcat, whatever, not Cobalt, whatever.
By the way, do not buy the Harbor Freight one. I already have one.
Yeah. Do you?
No.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you say to your dad.
Yeah, yeah. Don't. Yeah.
Stay away from Harbor Freight.
Don't. You can borrow mine, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, you got one? Yeah, I got one.
I did buy some impact socket sets at Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
They're decent. Whatever.
Yeah, and he'll probably say something like he did with his phone. Like, well, how much do I owe you? And I just like,
What are you talking about?
I don't know what do you?
What is his words?
Yeah,
Words.
Dad, I'm starting to sell the bathwater, and it's covered.
I must have gone to too many punk shows.
Yeah,
I can't hear you.
It's Brokick, and
Yeah.
you know, hey,
I need Melly to check my hearing. Sorry.
it's good.
Yeah.
Just don't use it on your lug nuts, because that's bad.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad juju.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. We're at time.
All right, we're at time. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
We're at time. Fuck off.
Bye. How far did you make it, Tony?
Yeah. Did you check your oil, Tony?
Did you return the cart?
Did you make the call?
Wash your face?
Wash your ass?
Register to vote?
Do the kindness? Pick up the shit.
Yeah. Pick up your dog's shit.
Pick up your dog shit.
I mean, if it's your shit, that's kind of awkward.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't be there if you're picking up shit.
Yeah. Get the shot.
And it's yours.
Do the kindness.
I think we got him.
Yeah. And we'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
We'll have a YouTube episode this week.
The light's still red.
The light's still
it's still
red.
going.
Yeah. Victory.
All righty.
Bye.
Later.